So on this YouTube channel, y'all have heard me talk about many different conspiracy theories, but this one's kind of different. It's the conspiracy theory that time travel already exists. So when I was researching for this video, I was actually really surprised by how much stuff is out there. There are so many different pictures throughout history of different things that shouldn't be there at that time. First off, I want everyone to look at this dude. Now before I show the picture, I just want to give a little feedback. This is a guy wearing modern clothes in a really old picture. Look at what he's wearing and then look at what everyone is wearing around him. Just take a minute, pause the video during the picture and just look at this dude. He looks so out of place in this picture. Yeah, it's crazy. He's literally wearing modern clothes back then, and that shouldn't even be possible. Many different people have looked at this picture, many different ideas have came. They've compared this stuff, and they're technically this stuff could have existed back then, but it's very unlikely that someone would be wearing it, at that time. And it just he looks so out of place and looks so different there than everyone else. And then check out these statues right here. Now these statues are they're all wearing they're all holding modern handbags and purses, stuff that shouldn't have even been on their minds back then when making these statues. They shouldn't have even known about. When I looked at these, I was actually at first I was I don't really know if this is something or not, and then I kind of looked at the detail of these different purses, and to me it's literally insane. It's really hard to explain how the people sculpting this would have made something like that, especially back then. And then the one on the far right, it almost looks like he's holding a jackhammer or something, which definitely did not exist back then. It definitely would have been completely outside their realm of what they know and what they could even make. To me, it's just insane. Looking at these pictures, it's just insane that that even exists. But this one, this the next picture I'm gonna show you right here, this one actually really got me. This one I would love to hear an explanation for. See, the picture I'm about to show you now is of a different it's an Egyptian statue holding a laptop. Now, that should 100% not exist. That should not be a thing. Obviously back then, laptops were not invented and they shouldn't even know of laptops existence. But it's a clear laptop, and before I explain anything else, y'all should all just see a picture of it so y'all see how crazy this actually is. Yeah, this is absolutely insane. There's even holes on the laptop for as an aux cord. It's absolutely ridiculous the amount of detail, and there's really nothing else I could think it would be. With the handbags and everything in the previous picture, there's a possibility it could have been something else or seeing it differently. But with this, there's nothing like that. That's clearly a laptop. Back then, they should have no idea of that existence. It's absolutely insane that that happened, and then you can see it clear as day. That's a laptop. There's nothing else that can be. I was saying, there's even the holes for an aux cord on the laptop. It's insane. And there's clear as day that there's a statue of it over there. like to me, that's absolutely crazy, and just furthers the proof that time travel could be invented. But the thing is, with the previous guy I showed you, the first picture I showed you, people could say it could make sense for someone like that to be wearing that, or it wouldn't make sense, but it could be a possibility. Although everyone's saying that it would make no sense for someone to be wearing that. But there's also the crazy thing to me is that that's not the only picture of a guy wearing modern clothes completely just in a sea of people that aren't. There's also this picture. And then, for the next picture I'm going to show you, it's not what the girl is wearing, because, she's wearing, normal clothes of, people back then, is what is in her hand. It's circled. Take a look at this next picture right here, and tell me if that is not a cell phone. Like, it's a picture of someone like way back then, like using what is clearly a cell phone. Like, this is also crazy. Like, there's so many things like back then that they have like statues of, or even using that they should have no idea even exists. And like, basically, the conspiracy theory works like this: time travel is real. It's already been invented, people are already time traveling. The public, however, is not supposed to know about it yet, and they're supposed to have no idea. But sometimes these time travelers slip up. Sometimes they show a laptop off, or sometimes there's a picture of them holding a cell phone, or sometimes like they're wearing clothes that don't make sense in that time. And like it's so interesting to think about and like read about because there's different like time travel stories out there of people like interacting with time travelers. And in me it's all just so interesting with what conspiracy theories are best at, which that they're interesting. But, like honestly looking at these pictures, like they kind of blew my mind. Like the handbag one I kind of like, I feel like that one's easy to write off. The computer though and the cell phone existing back then is just like it's mind blowing because there's really no other explanation for it. So what I want to know is like in the comments below, what do you think? Do you think you have an explanation for these things? Do you think it's time travel? Do you think time travel exists? I'd love to talk to y'all about it in the comments. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe, like the video, share it, and that's all for me. Bye.